Hi, we're going to talk a little bit today about annotating text. All annotating is it's taking notes as you read along with the book. It's a really helpful strategy because it's giving you the notes you need, but also it keeps you interacting with the text. It keeps your brain focused on what you're reading, gets all those synapses firing, and allows you to stop throughout your reading and kind of think about your understanding and what you're hearing and make those notes. So I'm going to start, we're just going to do a little bit with just once. Keep in mind also that we've been talking about the story elements and the plot structure with the exposition that has the setting, the characters, and the background event, the rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. So as we read, a lot of the annotating we're going to do is going to be based on those important parts of the story. So if I look at this story right off the bat, as I'm sure you know from experience, I'm going to look at the picture and try to see any guesses I have about what it's about. The football player tells me about the football. The title, Just Once, I'm wondering what's going to happen just once. Is he going to play just once? Will he get hurt just once? I don't know. So here we go. As I read, I'm going to do what I call a think aloud, which is really where I am just reading like I would be by myself and kind of sharing how I'm thinking with you to hear what a good reader has going on in his or her brain as they read. Right. Everybody liked the moose. To his father, so I'm going to do this, he's the character I'm guessing. To his father and mother, he was Brian. So the moose must be his nickname, but his name is Brian. As in Brian Jefferson Crawford. But to everyone at Bedford City High, he was just Moose. He was large and strong, as you might imagine from his nickname, and he was pretty fast on his feet, sort of nimble, you might say, considering his size. Okay, so his nickname is Moose, the Moose. His real name is Brian. He goes to Bedford City High School. He's large, strong, and pretty fast. The word nimble, that's a good word, so I marked that word nimble because I like it. I think of Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over the candlestick. Nimble is about being able to move easily and in and out of tight spaces. It's an important thing in a football player. He didn't have a pretty face, nice, but he had a quick and easy smile. Sweet, some of the teachers called it. Nice, others said. So he's a large, strong football player, but he's also known to be nice and sweet. Not so cute, but nice and sweet. But on the football field, the Moose was neither sweet nor nice. He was just strong and fast and a little bit devastating as the left tackle of the Bedford City Bears. So the word devastating is underlined because the definition is down here. It's causing great damage. I can't help but think about Hurricane Harvey that we just had, because I keep hearing the word devastation and devastating. So in my mind right now, I have a picture of the Moose kid on the football field devastating everybody, like everybody else is torn down, like all the buildings in Port Aransas and Houston, and he's standing there having caused it. When the Moose blocked somebody, he stayed blocked. So I know the Moose does some blocking. When the Moose was called on to open a hole in the line for one of the Bears' runners, the hole more often than not resembled an open garage door. I'm putting a question mark here. So this paragraph right here has a lot of information about football. I love football. I watch a lot of college football. I like to watch Barron football. But as much as I watch it, I don't know a lot of the details about the sport. So this paragraph, I'm probably going to have to read it again because I get he's fast and sweet. He blocks somebody. This part down here, when he was called on to open a hole in the line for one of the Bears' runners, the hole more often than not resembled an open garage. So I'm guessing, in my limited football knowledge, that they're talking about when he has to make room for the guy with the ball. And that's what he does. I'm going to go on, though, because I don't feel like not understanding that completely is going to hinder me in the story. But I have marked it, so I can go back if I need to. Now in his senior season, the Moose had twice been named to the all-conference team and was considered a cinch for state. He spent a lot of his spare time when he wasn't in the classroom or on the football field reading letters from colleges eager to have the Moose pursue higher education and football at their institution. Okay, so he must be really good because he's all-conference team. That's a big honor. That means that you're like one of the best in the area. And if the colleges are recruiting him, colleges don't recruit mediocre football players. They only go for the top ones. But the Moose had a hang-up. Da-da-da-da. He didn't go public with his hang-up until the 6th game of the season, But looking back, most of his teammates agreed that probably the moose had been nurturing that hang-up secretly for 2 years or more. And nurturing is just promoting it or growing. The moose wanted to carry the ball. All right, so again, considering my limited background in football, I don't understand exactly why this is such a big deal. I mean, if he is good with the ball and he can run fast, why is it a big deal that he wants to carry the ball? Obviously it is, or we wouldn't have this big intro to it. But he wants to carry the ball. For sure, the Moose was not the first interior lineman in the history of football or even the history of Bedford City High who banged heads up front and wore bruises like badges of honor. It's a nice simile there, comparing the bruises to the badges of honor. And dreamed of racing down the field with the ball to the end zone. You know, the end zone is down at the end where they score. While everybody in the bleachers screamed his name. Aha, this is where it's coming from. He wants this attention. He wants all these people screaming his name. But most linemen, it seems, are able to stifle the urge. The idea may pop into their minds from time to time, but in their hearts, they know they can't run fast enough. They know they can't do the fancy dancing to elude tacklers. And they know they aren't trained to read blocks. So this is what makes that job harder, is because they have to have these qualities. They know that their strengths and talents are best utilized in the line. Football is, after all, a team sport, and everyone plays the position where he most helps the team. And so these linemen, or most of them, go back to banging heads without saying the first word about the dream that flickered through their minds. Not so with Moose. All right, so what we have right here, not a pretty star, is our problem. This is like our conflict. Okay, everything's fine and good except for the Moose can't let go of his dream to carry. And down here, my question was why him carrying the ball is such a big deal. And I kind of got an idea here. He has to be able to run faster. He has to be able to be more nimble and read the blocks. And he hasn't been trained to do that. All right. So from this part, we have our whole exposition. We have our main character. We have a setting. We have some background information. He's a really good football player. And we even know the problem in the story. We know what this conflict is about. So let's stop there. Take a break.